Welcome to Plato's world. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The silent line between you and you. There is you, the polite mask, the name you answer to in crowded rooms, the story you repeat when asked, "Who are you?" And then there is the other you, the you imagine in small flashes when no one is watching, the one who lives freer, stands straighter, speaks calmly where you now flinch, moves through rooms you haven't dared enter yet. Between these two selves is no iron gate, no stone wall, only a silent line your polite mind calls impossible. Freud would say, the line is not real, it is your basement, humming the old loop. Plato would say, the line is your neck turned the wrong way, your eyes locked on the flicker instead of the flame. Quantum leaping is nothing more and nothing less than this, the quiet decision to erase that line, not someday, but now. Not in theory, but in posture, breath, word. The polite prisoner thinks leaping means forcing time, hacking shortcuts, praying the flicker turns into a doorway by accident. But the cave never shifts by chance. The leap begins in the place you think least powerful, your hidden assumption when you wake, your quiet posture when you sigh at dusk. Freud mapped the basement where the old line hums, stay here, the unknown is death. Plato left the flame flickering so you'd turn and see. The line is only a shadow you cast with your own head. Pause now, close your eyes. Feel the line like a faint line of chalk between your ribs. One side, who you are, the other, who you dare to be. Breathe in for 4. Feel your lungs push the line. Hold for 4. See it blur. Exhale for 8. Watch it fade. Say it softly for yourself, but loud enough your old loop hears it. I am the leap. Type it below. Each comment erases a piece of chalk. Like this scroll, mark the wall, the line must bow. Chapter 2. Freud's basement, where leaps go to die. Freud said your polite self is not the master, just the candle flickering on a table in a vast basement, humming beneath your ribs. You say you want a new life. You imagine the leap, new wealth, deeper love, lighter breath, calmer dawns. But your basement laughs and whispers. You do not want this. Not yet. The known ache is safer than the unknown thrill. The old fear is warmer than the cold air outside this cage. Polite prisoners repeat affirmations. They tape mantras on mirrors. But when they sleep, the basement scribes the same old script behind the polite mask. Stay here. The leap is death. Freud watched countless patients circle this loop. He saw how the conscious mind loves freedom, but the unconscious craves certainty more than change. Your polite tongue says, leap now. Your basement whispers, we have never survived this before. Stay with what you know. Repeat the flicker. Paint the wall new, but do not crack it. The truth Freud could never fully burn into textbooks is this. No new identity lives in your polite mind alone. It is planted, watered, fed in the dark hum you rarely dare to sweep. Quantum leaping is not jumping timelines with wishes alone. It is scraping old basement walls with a vow you repeat daily until the hum shifts pitch. The cave hums because you keep feeding it your leftover dread at dawn. Plato left the flame so you'd remember the exit was always a neck turn away. But Freud reminds you, the neck stays locked when the basement hums number. Pause now. Close your eyes. Picture the basement beneath your ribs. Shelves of old flickers stacked like dusty books. See one shelf labeled, impossible. Reach for it with your mind's hand. Brush the dust. Feel the shelf tremble. Inhale for 4. See the shelf crack. Hold for 4. Watch the word fade. Exhale for 8. The books dissolve to ash. Say it now. I am the leap. Type it below. Each comment is another shelf smashed. Like this scroll. Mark your basement with light. The leap seeds here first. Chapter 3, Plato's Cave, the flicker of the possible. Freud left you standing in the basement, palm warm from brushing dust off the shelf marked impossible. But Freud's corridors alone will trap you in endless analysis. Loops about loops about loops. So Plato appears to lift your chin back to the flame. He knew the polite prisoner stares at the wall, flickers dancing, shapes moving, shadows pretending to be real. He knew most die chained there, never once daring to see that the light source lives behind their back. You speak of quantum leaps as if they must arrive from somewhere outside. A windfall, a teacher, a sign, a gate that swings open if you chant the right spell. But the cave is the cruel joke. The flicker is not the possible. It is the echo of your refusal to look the other way. The real possible burns behind you. The polite prisoner keeps feeding the flicker fresh prayers. May the wall open, may the shape shift. They forget they carry the flame that casts the shadow they beg to change. Quantum leaping is not tricking the flicker. It is standing up, turning your neck, facing the flame raw. Plato did not invent the cave as metaphor alone. He mapped your mind's hidden theater. You pay tickets in daily thought. You sit in polite rows with other prisoners who tell you the flicker is fact. One stands, they all laugh. Who do you think you are? Sit. Wait for the flicker to bless you. But you are here because the flame hums behind your ribs. When the wall tells you, wait. Pause now. Close your eyes. Picture the flicker, your old echo. Debt, fear, stale love, stale title. Turn your neck in your mind's corridor. See the flame. It is not outside, it is inside. Inhale for 4. Feel its heat. Hold for 4. Let it bend your shadow. Exhale for 8. The flicker cracks. Say it. I am the leap. Type it below. Each comment a chain falling. Like this scroll, turn your neck. The flicker is not master. Chapter 4. The observer. Folding the leap. Freud gave you the basement. Plato turned your neck. But to leap, you must stand as something even more dangerous than the polite mind's mask. You must stand as the observer. Einstein saw what mystics whispered for centuries. The wave does not become fact until you look at it. Your flicker is a wave, infinite, humming with every version of you. The polite mask, the basement fear, the flame behind your ribs, the next self you claim when you dare breathe warm enough to let it live. Most polite minds waste this sight. They stare at the flicker, but think they are passive. They tell themselves, this is happening to me. They do not see the observer's gaze folding the wave into the same stale wall each dawn. The wave does not care who you wish you were. It obeys who you assume you are when your eyes flick open in the dark. Quantum leaping is not brute force. It is not frantic wishing. It is steady folding. Observer bending wave with warm gaze held long enough to reshape the corridor itself. Freud's basement will test you. Are you folding old loops or new leaps? Plato's cave will tempt you. Stare at the flicker. Beg the wall to flicker prettier. But the observer does not beg. The observer folds. You are the wave's hand. You are the switch Neville spoke of. You are the corridor's architect, not its prey. Most will never hold their gaze long enough. They flinch when the flicker fights back. But you stand warm. You stare steady. Pause now. Close your eyes. See the wave before you. Ripples of every version of you dancing in light. Pick one. The next self. Feel its warmth. Inhale for 4. Fold it closer. Hold for 4. The wave hums tighter. Exhale for 8. The flicker obeys. Say it. I am the leap. Type it below. Every comment a wave folding. Like this scroll, your steady gaze made visible. Chapter 5. The shadow self. The gatekeeper at the edge. Freud named your basement. Plato turned your neck to the flame. Einstein handed you the wave, Neville the switch. But Jung stepped in to remind you why you flinch at the edge of the leap. The shadow stands guard. The polite prisoner wants a leap with no toll. They beg the wall to open, but keep their oldest fear hidden under a polite smile. They chant, I want wealth, but deep in the basement hums. I fear power. I fear envy. I fear my own roar. So the leap cracks at the edge. The wave folds halfway. The observer's gaze flickers when the shadow whispers, not you, not yet. Jung's brilliance was merciless compassion. The shadow is not your demon. It is your unlived power curled like a coiled snake under your ribs. The same force that could bend the wave fully if you dared hold it instead of shoving it deeper. Quantum leaping is not just folding waves. It is standing at the gate where the shadow waits and saying, I see you. I do not flinch. You do not kill the shadow. You claim its teeth. You do not deny the fear. You fold it into the leap. Most polite minds run backward here. They say, when I am ready, I will leap. They never see the trap. The leap makes you ready, not the other way around. Your shadow is the unspent gold your polite mask hides. Pause now. Close your eyes. Picture the corridor at the edge of your leap, a thin line of light humming with your next self. See the shadow standing there, calm, not cruel. See its eyes. They look like yours. Inhale for 4, step closer, hold for 4, feel the hum sharpen. Exhale for 8, the gate opens. Say it now, I am the leap. Type it below. Every comment, another torch in the gate. Like this scroll, your vow that the shadow bows. Chapter 6, the breath, the ritual that bends time. So you stand at the gate, observer steady, shadow seen, wave ready to fold. Yet even here the polite prisoner asks, what more must I do? Plato smiles, Freud nods, Jung hums. Neville points back to the same secret every master left you, your breath. Time is not a line you crawl along. It bends under your lungs. Your flicker repeats because your daily breath repeats old fear. Most polite minds breathe shallow, fight, flight, freeze. Each sip of stale air is a vote for the same corridor. Each shallow exhale feeds the flicker more ink to scribble tomorrow's loop. Quantum leaping is not hacking some cosmic glitch. It is daily breath held warm enough to burn the stale line. Freud whispered it in therapy rooms. Listen to the sigh. Plato buried it in mystery schools. The breath behind the neck turn. Neville fused it with assumption. Each inhale a claim, each exhale a folding. The observer lives in the pause between your ribs. Your next self is not hidden behind some iron gate. It hums in the next breath you dare hold warm. Breathe sloppy, repeat the same past. Breathe steady, full time like a soft page. No device needed, no permission slip stamped by the polite world. Pause now. Close your eyes. Picture your breath as a thread stretching forward, each inhale pulling the possible closer. Inhale for 4, the wave hums. Hold for 4, the observer sees. Exhale for 8, the corridor folds. Say it softer than before, but clearer inside. I am the leap. Type it below. Each comment, a fresh breath inscribed in the scroll. Like this scroll, the flicker flickers because you breathe it so. Stand if you can. Feel your ribs move. Not polite, but alive. Whisper it once more. I am the leap. The polite prisoner sighs and calls it stress. You breathe on purpose. Time folds when you do. Chapter 7, the final leap, your vow in the mirror. So here you stand, basement mapped, flicker turned, wave folded, shadow claimed, breath warm. Yet one last test remains, the polite mask that stares at you each dawn in the glass. The polite prisoner loves the scroll until it sees its own eyes. Then the polite mind trembles. What if I fail? What if I slip? What if this is just another flicker on the wall? Plato would say, turn your neck again. The flame is real. Freud would smile. The basement hums, but you now stand above it. Neville would whisper, assume. Your eyes shape the next flicker. Jung would remind you, the shadow stands behind you now. Guarding, not binding. Quantum leaping is not force. It is not hype. It is not frantic chanting to trick the flicker. It is this. The calm vow you breathe into your reflection when no one applauds, no one cheers, no one even knows. You stand there, polite mask removed, eyes soft but steady, mouth calm, breath warm, the observer watching from the back of your ribs, folding the wave, the mirror mind clear, no fog of old fear. You look at your own eyes and see the flicker flicker. You do not flinch, you do not beg, you do not chant for luck. You stand so still the maze curves. You breathe so warm the wave folds. You watch so steady the flicker bows. And in that hush you whisper the vow polite prisoners fear the most. I am the leap. This is no trick. This is no ladder. This is the vow that hums your next corridor into being while your polite echo sleeps. Pause now. Close your eyes. Picture your reflection, not just skin. See your next self behind your pupils, warm, alive, ready. Inhale for 4, the old flicker cracks. Hold for 4, the new flame rises. Exhale for 8, the mirror hums. Say it. Not for me, not for them, but for the observer behind your ribs. I am the leap. Type it below. Every comment a vow that the flicker can no longer rewrite. Like this scroll, mark the wall. The leap hums forward. Stand if you can. Look in the nearest mirror tonight. No mask, no panic. Breathe once more, whisper to your own eyes, I am the leap, and step.